Many political prognosticators have written off Kamala Harris's future political chances or ambitions, but the vice president may not be going away anytime soon, according to a report from this morning.
That is right. Politico is reporting that Harris will stay in politics and perhaps make a run either for governor in California in 2026 or make another run for the White House in 2028. If she chose option B there, that would set up a race potentially with current California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is considered one of the many Democratic leading contenders for 2028.
So this is a little surprising to me that I guess keeping your options open is not the same thing as abjectly declaring you want to stay in the field of politics. She seems pretty checked out to me, and she lost, and I would guess that she doesn't have necessarily a bright political future ahead of her. She's already been the vice president. I kind of expect her to go like the speaking route or media route or take a, Harvard Institute of Politics fellowship type thing, rather than actually, get down to work and try to run for office again. Mm-hmm. She's actually never had a tremendous amount of success. I mean, she was elected senator from California, so maybe she could get elected governor there. That doesn't seem totally outside the realm of possibility to me. It's a little bit of a step down from being vice president. It would be not totally historically unprecedented in all of American history. I think John Quincy Adams returned to the House of Representatives after being president, and President Taft became Supreme Court Justice and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court after serving as president. Perhaps there were vice presidents that served in different roles after leaving office, although none of them come to mind. But you do have to go back some ways to find someone who stayed in, or who took a kind of lesser or different position. Or she could run for president again. I don't know. I kind of think the Democratic Party is going to be looking elsewhere by then, or Democratic voters at least. Certainly if the elites conspire to just have her be the nominee, as they did last time, anything is possible. But maybe she senses this is her moment given that there's going to be a power vacuum in the Democratic Party. If she really wants to, this is her time to become its intellectual figurehead or something. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, if I was a friend of Kamala Harris, which I should say I'm not, I would advise her to get out of politics. I think she would have a much brighter future on that speaking circuit, on that sort of world leader, opinion leader kind of, going, making big speeches, writing books about noble ideas, maybe having some media presence. I would pour the Chardonnay and kick back if I was her. I agree with you, absolutely. So the problem is that, what is the appetite for Kamala Harris really staying in frontline politics? She ran okay, I would say, neither terrible nor brilliantly. She lost in the end. American politics traditionally has been pretty harsh on losers, though of course Donald Trump came back from 2020 and Richard Nixon came back from 1960 and then won again back in 1968. But it is typically a difficult thing to do. And, I remember, for example, after John Kerry lost in 2004, that he had sort of kind of maybe suggested that he might go again. There wasn't some pro-John Kerry constituency. No. And I have never been persuaded that there's really a massive pro-Kamala Harris constituency. Now, this isn't just obviously to beat up on Democrats. I do think looking ahead to 2028, someone like Gretchen Whitmer, I think, could be potentially a very strong candidate for the Democrats. I wonder, will the experience of having two female nominees weigh against a figure like Whitmer? Newsom is someone I have been a little skeptical of as a national politician. I think he's good as the governor of California in communicating a liberal position and in using that platform to make liberal arguments. Would he get elected nationally? I'm more skeptical of that.
I don't know if the Democrats will make this mistake again. They certainly are capable of making it again, but if they really want to win, the reason Gretchen Whitmer and Josh Shapiro are going to be appealing figures is not just because they're somewhat successful governors, and I should say I don't care for Gretchen Whitmer at all as a former resident of the state of Michigan, but she is a national known person who is well liked by her own party certainly, and some other people as well. They are governors of the must-win pivotal swing states. Why would you get more California? California is going to the Dems
Right.
by a smaller margin than it did previously, but it's not this kind of the way we're in now with these relatively extremely close elections hinging on the outcomes in 5 or 6 states and really just 3 states. The last 3 elections now have been decided. I mean, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada are also swing states, but they have been decided, each of the last 3, by Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. So the Dems, if they get serious about winning, are going to want political figures from those states,
well,
right?
also I feel like I should preface this with the classic, a lot of my friends are Californians, but California has like a really quite bad political image problem in the sense of making that appeal to those heartland states. It is far too easy, I think, for the right to characterize California, fairly or unfairly, as this sort of liberal redoubt where it has all these cutting-edge progressive ideas that aren't in tune with the rest of the country. I'm not sure I agree with that, but it certainly works as an attack line.
I frankly think Newsom might be one of the few people I can propose who is a less appealing political figure than Kamala Harris. Newsom is, it seems to me, too moderate to make California liberals like him. In fact, a lot of them dislike him extremely because there's, I think, a insincerity or a fakeness to his progressive bona fides, that they're not real. You know, he's a affluent-seeming person, a stylish man. You know, went to French Laundry during the lockdown, that kind of thing. But for his somewhat level of moderating has not seemed to win him any accolades or fans on the right. Like, he is still routinely positioned as a villain throughout conservative media. So it just seems to me he's landing in that middle zone where you've pleased absolutely no one. So I don't know whose idea it is that he should be the just because he has like nice hair or something. It seems like a very shallow analysis.
I feel slightly envious of his hair. Apart from that, I'm not envious of his political appeal. And maybe it'll be Big Gretch after all, Robby. And you could be a proud Michigander if she makes a rolling run to the presidency.
I would be deeply unhappy about that, but you know what? I would certainly enjoy talking about it and elaborating. I can picture many, many radars on all of my issues with Gretchen Whitmer. So
Democratic nominee.
You would have that to look forward to, Niall.
Delight, as always.
More Rising right after this. Stay tuned.